You already know who it is. The one, the only L Selector back at it again. Today we're going to talk about the fight that just happened between our guy, Big Baby Jared Anderson, United States heavyweight boxing up and coming prospect first. Ryad Merhy. Shouts to Ryad Merhy from the Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, and Belgium. You already know. So he came out there tonight. The two of them clashed in a heavyweight belt basically to move up in the rankings. Overall, my take on the fight, I wasn't scoring the fight at all. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. I was not scoring the fight, but just looking from a distance, trying to see what's going on. Red Marid, he is a fighter. He fights over there on that side over there. I know a lot of his fights tend to be on. He fights over there on that side over there. So he fights a lot of guys over there up in Europe and stuff like that. Um, and Jared, Big Baby Anderson, you already know Toledo's finest, Ohio's very own. Shouts to our Ohio players, you know what I mean? Got some Ohio players in the building. Shouts to my guys out there in Cote d'Ivoire as well, like I said before, Ivory Coast. Shouts to my people out there on that side as well too. But yeah, so Jared Anderson, congratulations to him. He ended up getting the job done. It was a pretty easy win to say the least. I didn't score the fight like I said prior, but I was just looking at it from a distance. Jared Anderson was basically controlling the tempo of the fight. No big knockouts, no nothing, but just what I mean, good tune-up fight to get him, or not even a tune-up fight, but just a good fight to get him acclimated and just have eyeballs on him. I know he got arrested quite recently, and he's been facing some legal issues and stuff like that, so it's good to see that he's in the ring. He did say he's been fighting a lot more lately just because of his financial problems. He says he's broke, so he needs money. So, which is understandable. We all need money in this economy, right? Well, everybody needs. There's never enough money. You know what I mean? Everybody always needs some money, right? So, yeah, he had to fight out there, and I think the most important thing is he needs to get those wins because we've been hearing about Jared Anderson for a while now, but now we need to start seeing him step up and start seeing him starts fighting some of the big dogs. A lot of the older heads in the heavyweight department, a lot of the OGs or the guys who've been around for, since the 2010s, the a la Anthony Joshua's, the Tyson Furies, um, Derek Chisora, Dillian White, Joseph Parker, Deontay Wilder, Zhang. A lot of these cats are getting up there in age, while Jared Anderson's the young guy coming up. So we want to see Jared Anderson get these fights. He has to fight some of these guys. He has to catch these guys. We don't want to see these guys out the game and he's now all of a sudden he's ready to fight. Like we want to see him get in there with these guys. There's a lot of money going on in Saudi Arabia, and I think he's missing out on a lot of the pie over there, to say the least. He should be fighting in some of these fights. You see what I'm saying? I like to see him maybe get the fight with F.A. Ajagba from Nigeria, based in the Houston area over there, Texas. I like to see him fight that guy, and then maybe start seeing him get. I want to see him next get into that Saudi realm, with that whole Riyadh season and all that stuff they got going on over there, and maybe see him fight the likes of, because he's been calling out Deontay Wilder. I think Deontay Wilder's a fighter that he should. I think he should try to get that fight with Wilder. I don't know. Wilder looks kind of. He's supposed to fight Zhang next. He looked kind of shot right now, so I don't know, man. I'm not liking that fight with Zhang. I don't think it's a good fight with him. I know he just signed with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing, so Matchroom may have some stuff ready in the works for him. But time will tell, though. But at the same time, though, I want to see him get some of these bouts out. You see what I'm saying? Like, I need to see Jared get into some of these fights. I think he's like 19 and 0 or 20 and 0 by now. So I want to see him start fighting some of these upper echelon type guys. Get some of these see where he's at. I think he's young. I think he can compete with a lot of these guys out here. I don't see any problem with him, any issue with him competing as far as on the competition side. There's no real big far distance. I could see him beating Dillian White. I could see him beating Chisoras. He could probably even beat Jang. You know what I mean? Like honestly, he could be. I could see him beating Joseph Parker. I could see him beating a lot of these guys. Could he beat Anthony Joshua? That'd be a good test for him. Could he beat Deontay Wilder? I wouldn't rule it out. He could potentially beat Wilder at this point. Um, Dillian White, he could be. I could see him beating Dillian White. Tyson Fury, that'd be a good fight. I think that'd be an intriguing fight for him. So Jared Anderson is a guy that we want to see, but I'm just still waiting. I think it's like we're just waiting, 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 waiting. But it's like it's now or never, right? We got to get these fights in with Jared Anderson. You know what I mean? So he fought our guy Riyad Medid, and he got him out of here. He did what he had to do. No knockout, no nothing like that. Just a boxing fight. Victorious, got the decision, whatever, cool. And now it's time for him to move to the next step. As far as Ryad Merhy go, I would like to see him fight some more. He's a guy's kind of an unknown to me, like really and truly. I haven't really seen him a lot. Yes, I get it. Some people are like, oh, whatever, you're casual, da da da. No, I just don't see every boxer. There's so many boxers. Everybody got their radars, right? Depending on where you live, depending on what you're looking at, depending on what you're trying to see, that's what you're gonna get, right? He's not a guy who came on my radar, but he is a guy who's doing his damn thing. He's what, 32 wins, 33 losses, third loss tonight. So he's a guy who's been doing his thing. I'd like to see him probably get more fights in some of the bigger names. I know he's not really ranked as high, but at the same time, he is still a big name. He's not a big name, but he still has a good record. His record looks pretty good, impressive. So that's the great part. That's a sell. Um, you know, Styles make fights. Jared is of course up and coming. You know, what I mean, he's coming up. So he's gonna get different looks, different styles, and on top of that, he's fighting on Top Rank. So we want to see more from Jared, but I think Riyad Marid, I like to see him maybe get in that whole Saudi situation over there too, get some of those fights going on over there as well, because I think the Saudis right now they're putting up some of the best fights in boxing as far as like they got versus the Bivol versus you know what I mean Brother Beef fight, Arthur Better Beef. These are some big fights, man. They're talking about getting Terrence Crawford over there. They're talking about a lot of different guys, man, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of that stuff. So, kudos to Jared Big Baby Miller or Anderson, sorry, Jared Miller, Jarrell. We're thinking about Jarrell Miller. That guy. Hopefully, we see him too. I'd like to see him fight Jared Anderson versus Jarrell Miller. You know what I mean? In a good fight. I think that'd be a great fight as well too. You know what I mean? So there's some fights we want to see. Daniel Dubois versus Jared Anderson. I'd love to see that. Those guys are two young guys too. You know what I mean? They could get in a collision course and maybe get down and get in the nitty gritty and rumble. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Like we got to see these fights, man. You know what I mean, Jared Anderson, give me those fights, man. Give me that. Give me that. I want to see that. I think it's important that we all see that. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyways, yo, I'm signing out. Adios. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll be back with some more boxing shortly. Peace.